Are we live? Hey guys, this is Bobby Clue with the Somerset-Pulaski County Chamber of Commerce. We're back at it again for another one of our virtual ribbon cuttings. In downtown Somerset today, I'm here with Meredith Frye. Meredith Frye Photography, in fact, and we are actually in her, what is it, studio?
Studio.
This is your studio here. So located basically across the street from the Virginia Theater is where we're at, next to what are we next to? We're next to the old Wandering Elm Photography Building, and really right across
commercial
from the
printing.
Commercial printing. So really couldn't be more in the heart of downtown Somerset. So thanks for taking the time to do this.
Thank you.
So we've been catching up a little bit. We've got some mutual friends, which is super exciting. And whole point of this, Meredith, is for us to get to know a little bit more about your business. So how long have you been doing professional photography?
Professionally?
Well, I don't know. Photography in general.
Photography in general since I was a child.
Wow.
So professionally for 5 years.
Okay. How did you get into photography? How does one start to look at that as a profession? How does that happen? Just you do it so long and people ask you, hey, take pictures?
Yes, that's exactly how it happened. I took pictures of like my kids and family and friends for years. And then probably about 2018, I started getting into the digital photography and teaching myself. So I'm self-taught. And people just started asking me, and it just kind of spiraled.
I mean, you have some beautiful work, and I think we've seen a lot of it. You know, you'll do, I've seen, your master musicians work, and I've seen a lot of your stuff you do with the individuals here in town, landscape, portrait. I mean, a lot of different stuff that you do, and I don't know maybe what kind of photography. Maybe it's a shorter list to say what don't you do, but I mean, what do you specialize in photography?
Specialized, probably seniors. I love my seniors.
So senior pictures for, okay, so
Yep.
that's a big thing, I'm assuming.
That's a big thing.
Sure.
Family photography and couples, weddings a little bit.
Sure.
But yeah, that's probably the four biggest things, and events, of course.
Right.
Which I love music and I love musicians.
Yeah.
So I'm just, anytime I get a chance to do that, I'm going to do it.
Well, I know that recently you had a chance. We have a program we do called the Rise Women's Leadership Program.
Yeah.
So Tiffany Finley, who I know you and I know very well, we know Tiffany. She helped put this together last year, and it's evolved into a quarterly series where we empower women. And I know you actually set up at our last Rise event and had lots of different photography, and you were talking to other women about it. And I think that's great to see women empower other women. I mean, is that something that it seems like a lot of the photographers I see here in town are women. Is that just here, or is that common, or is it?
I think it's exploded. So the last several years, I think, with digital photography especially,
right,
being able to get online and self-teach yourself, and the creative side of it, and a lot of the women I meet, we kind of, I feel like, have that in us, but maybe didn't have a way to show it.
Sure.
So photography gives you that.
You have a flexible schedule, I'm sure, with photography to some amount, don't you?
Yeah,
So you're not working
absolutely.
a 9 to 5. You can create those windows of opportunity to go meet with people when you want to. So
Yeah.
it provides a little bit of flexibility, which is nice. So you were doing this a long time before the digital came along, because most people probably only think about digital anymore. So how has digital changed photography? Has it changed it for the better, for the worse? Is it just what's going to happen? That's just the way it went?
Yeah, it's just different, and I think the biggest thing is the access, like the access to the tools that you need to do your job.
Right.
So the access is there, so you can access things a whole lot easier than back when there was film. And film, of course, was a lot more expensive to produce.
Sure.
So that was always hard too. And I didn't really do it professionally then. It was more just for friends and family and myself.
Sure.
So digital just kind of created, I think, a little different niche. And I don't know, you can do so many different things when you get on that computer and you're editing,
Right.
there's just so many things that you can do with that part of it.
You know, I bet a lot of people won't. This younger generation, they'll never even know what a dark room is. You know, it's the dark room now is your iMac probably, where you're doing the editing on the photos. And you know, one of the things I like about your photography is it's not over edited. Sometimes you see photography that's really been just put through the ringer, you know, and it doesn't look real. And what I like about your photography is, you know, it's beautiful, and I'm sure it's edited to some degree, but I mean, it's really crisp and clean, and you add lots of good colors into it. That picture right there of John Popper from Master Musicians Festival is one of my favorites of all time.
Thank you.
I think it's a really cool picture. So again, how does it work? So if somebody wants to reach out and they want to schedule a session, is there different packages, or how does that work?
So you can go straight to my website, which is great.
What is your website?
MeredithFryePhotography.com. So super easy. You can book a session right through the website. My pricing and packages are on my website, so there's nothing hidden about it.
Sure.
Now I do have special senior pricing. You do have to ask for that. I email you that. And my wedding packages you have to ask for, and I email you that. But you can book, you can set up a calendar. I've got a little calendar on there. You can set up a time to talk to me. I really like talking to people beforehand. It's just much more personal. So I try to do that as much as possible. And then we can set up times, dates, and, you know, whatever works for you.
Sure.
So,
well, you know, it's great that you have things that you specialize in. I think some people, they think that it's just a one-stop shop. And, you know, you may not do a lot of newborn things, or you know, there might be somebody else who does really good. You know, that's their niche.
Yes.
So it's great to kind of hear, you know, what your specialties are. So for anybody that gets a chance to see this, they'll know, you know, what those are. They know how to reach out to you now at MeredithFryePhotography.com. And that's the best way to get a hold of you, it sounds like. So go there. All the information's right there. Is that where most of it comes from?
Yeah, most of it is scheduled appointments.
Sure.
Yeah, and I do, of course, in the studio as well as outside. This time of year, we're getting outside. It's beautiful, you know, it's the time to do that now. Wintertime is a little more inside.
What are some of your favorite backdrops to use? I'm just curious here. I mean, obviously you have a big lake. Do you use the lake at all?
Use the lake, of course.
I would use the lake. I don't know much about photography, but I like the lake.
I love the lake. Pulaski County Park is one of my favorites. Haney's Apple Farm is one of my favorites.
I bet.
Rocky Hollow in downtown is one of my favorites. So I use this whole area down here for a backdrop.
I love how some of these pictures will turn out where you'll look at a photo and they'll be taking a picture on a pair of, you know, rickety steps that are, you know, rusted all the way through with a really dirty, you know, wall in the background. You think looks terrible. And then you see the picture and it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it all just kind of frames out well. And I'd say that's half the battle, is finding really good locations to do your photography.
And the thing is backgrounds can be anything. So, as we talked about earlier, the Seven Gables Motel.
Yeah.
So I loved it because it's got lots of color and it was a beautiful day. So you get the blue from the sky.
Yeah, and I just love those old neon signs and just kind of some of those old retro looking things. I mean, and it makes for a really neat background for a picture. Even though you've kind of, you know, blurred it a little bit, we know what's there, and you've put the focus on this young lady. You know, it's still a really cool backdrop in that picture.
And I tend to go towards like anything vintage. I love. So yeah, vintage, nostalgia, retro. I don't know. That's kind of my thing, and that's what I love. So
I think that I think those are the things people want to know about too. You know, because when you're trying to select a photographer, you know, you want to have a good relationship with that person, because every photographer is a little bit different. And we have some great photographers here locally.
We do.
You being one of them. Every size, not a one size fits all. So when they find out kind of what you like, that might help them make a decision as to whether they want to use your services or not. So I would assume if you go to the website, meredithfryphotography.com, is there some of your work on there that people can look at as well?
Absolutely, yeah. Shows a lot of
Lots
different
of
a lot of different portfolios, a lot of different
Sure.
work, and a lot of different genres. So
Okay.
you can see a little bit of everything. And
Yeah.
I really emphasize like connection and showing people's emotions and trying to get real connections that are going on with people. So
Well, that's what this is all about. It's trying to connect you with some people who may not be able to be here today for an in-person ribbon cutting to celebrate with you. This is a chance. We started this during COVID, is when we started this, because we couldn't go do these in person. And it gives people an opportunity if they have to be at work today, if they're stuck at work on a pretty day, or if they are traveling, or any number of things, they can watch these with us and they can get to know more about your business. Because for the chamber, that's our job. It's to get more people to walk in your front door, to go to your website, and to check out your services. So I want to thank you for being a chamber member. I really appreciate that. It's a choice you've made, and we appreciate that. And I want to thank you for allowing us to do this. It's a little weird. I know that.
It is.
It's okay. It is. It is. This, full disclosure, it is a little odd, but again, it's the proof is in the pudding. We get a lot of people that will watch these, and hopefully it translates into a little business for you. So I want to thank you for that. What we'll do now is we'll wait a few minutes. I think people are coming in, and then we'll do an in-person ribbon cutting. So, guys, one thing I always preach that we talk about a lot is the importance of shopping local. So, again,
definitely.
Shopping local is not just in the retail, sector. It could be right here with a local photographer. It could be any number of ways. So, I would ask the next time, regardless of where you're going to do photography, try to find one of the very talented people that we have here in our local community to use. So, until next time. We've got another virtual ribbon cutting next week. So until then, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Meredith, thank you again.
Thanks.
For doing this. Guys, stay tuned and have a great day. Thank you.